Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to Officers Adda 24/7 channel. And today is a special day. It's a Sunday after all. And everybody who's appeared for their legal exam today, LRB, and have cleared that exam, many congratulations from our side. People who've cleared their JAIIB exam, again, very well deserved. I'm sure a lot of hard work has gone into it. Congratulations to all of you also. And now addressing people who might have not been able to clear this exam, maybe by a small margin, right? Don't lose heart. There's always another time. And that is the reason why we are here today, to address the problems and the issues that we face, and so that we do not repeat our mistakes for our May-June 2022 exam. And this session specifically is also for people who are going to appear for the very first time in the JAIIB exam, right? So Adda 24/7 has brought you a completely English medium batch of JAIIB, which is a combination of 3 papers, all of them bundled up together, which is Principles and Practices of Banking, Accounting and Finance for Bankers, and the Legal and Regulatory Aspects for the banking industry. Now, this batch is specially curated for the candidates who prefer English language, both for the content creation, discussion, and also for the delivery in the class. So all the content, written content, is in English language. Moreover, the classes will be held purely in English language. So this is a specifically English batch, which is curated for anybody and everybody who has the preference for solely English language as a medium of communication. The batch details are here on your screen. You can see that the batch starts on March 7th, right? That is tomorrow. So today is the last day for all of you to enroll in this particular batch, and we have a special deal for all of you. You can use code Y421 and avail a flat 81% discount on this particular batch. The first class starts at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I would request everybody, the moment you log out of this video session, go check out the website and enroll for this batch. The basic aim for this particular session that we hold today is that to understand like what should be a sure sort strategy to clear the JAIIB exam in May-June 2022. And for that, what is important is that we understand that why is the pass percentage, or why is this exam so difficult? What is the issue? So if you look, these are some statistics that are there from the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Now, you can clearly see in the JAIIB exam, the pass percentage over the last 4 years is hardly 19, 20, 18 and 17%, right? 2022-21 saw a lesser number of enrollment also because it was a pandemic year, right? And only once the exam was held. And we've just concluded the session, the examination schedule today. Now, this is not going to be like this. But however, you can look at the pass percentage. It is so dismal, so difficult to clear this exam. But if you go to our YouTube channel and you see the comments across the social media platforms, you'll see the pass percentage that Officers that are 24/7 has is close to 80%, 90%, right? So that is why we want you to be with us and let us help you, guide you and mentor you so that you are able to qualify and be a part of this 20% which is clearing the exam, right? So what are the basic issues that we face, right? And what are the basic things that we need to remember now, the questions that are there in our mind. So today, as we've finished the last tranche of the JAIIB exam, right? We are expecting that the registration date will be announced anytime within next week, and would probably give you a window for 2 to 3 weeks to register yourself for the May-June 2022 exam. Let me tell you and request you, if you are sure that you want to appear for this exam and you will get this registration done, don't wait for the registration to happen to start preparation. Prepare from today. If not today, then tomorrow morning with a fresh mind. Normally, we would do a registration in the month of January or February, right? And we would have a time period of 4 to 5 months. However, this is not the case right now. We are already in the month of March. We hardly have 2 months, right? So to start the preparation timely is extremely important. We can't afford to lose even a single day. So the registration date will be announced. You can keep checking the IIBF website, our website, where we keep you updated, and do the registration as soon as possible. Do not delay it till the last moment. At times it happens because of high traffic. The website faces glitches or there is a problem. Then anybody who's appearing for the first time in the JAIIB exam, you should remember that there is the time limit after the registration is 2 years. Even if you do not appear in any of those installments, so you get 4 attempts in total, even if you do not take one of the attempts, the clock is still ticking, right? So you need to be short about the preparation and make sure that you put in every effort to clear the exam in the first go. If not in the first go, then in the second attempt or the following attempt. Don't waste your registration. The exam duration that is normally held in the JAIIB exams for all the 3 papers is 2 hours, which is roughly 120 minutes. And the examination pattern is such that you get about 120 questions approximately. Now, so you can see it's like a 1 question per minute kind of mathematics that you can do. But unfortunately, the maths is not so simple. You do not get 1 minute for every question, because at times we have heard this feedback that the questions were lengthy or they were tricky and they consumed like 4 or 5 minutes. So 1 question took so much of time. So that means it is very, very important for all of you to be able to attempt few questions in less than a minute. So maybe a 20-second or a 40-second type of a response rate should be there for few questions, which is typically a 1-mark question or a half-mark question. So this clarity in the exam duration and the pattern will really help you a lot when you are going to sit for your exam. And the most important thing is that there is no negative marking in your JAIIB exam till now. Now, what benefit does this point gives you is that you should attempt each and every question. You should never leave any question unattempted. This will make sure that even if there is a slightest of doubt, there is a possibility, it might be right. So have confidence in yourself. Do not feel the lack of confidence ever. So because there's no negative marking, attempt all questions. Time management will play a very, very important role in this aspect. And we are going to discuss in the forthcoming slide also that how you can work on time management, right? And the last point which is written here is that what sort of questions are typically asked. So if you look at all the recollected questions that we discuss on and off, you will see that the questions range from conceptual clarity to the analytical thinking as well. So the questions pertain to both the categories. It's not just that they are conceptual clarity questions or they test your level of knowledge and understanding that you have. There have been analytical questions, logical thinking questions, where the questions is slightly twisted. And if only you understand the language of the question was very simple. So what does this mean? That we need to practice various types of questions, different types of formats, and be familiar with all possible questions that one can think of. So therefore, there are no surprises in the exam, right? So this is very, very important. So these are important few points that I thought I'll brush through before the session only. Now, when we talk about the strategy, what to do, right? So the first thing that I would like to highlight is what is the issue that we are facing. So what are the issues for which we are looking at the problem, or what problem needs a solution. So we do have a solution for every problem, but only if we understand the problem correctly. So normally, what sort of a problems do candidates face? I am sure some of you who've already appeared once for your exam, you would relate to these options or these points that I have written here. And people who are going to attempt it for the very first time, please note that these are some things which the previous candidates who have appeared have mentioned or highlighted. So if you are aware about these issues, you will be able to tackle each one of them. And so that the strategy becomes like a short strategy. So the first issue was that the paper was very difficult. Now, even the legal paper that was held today, normally, it is considered to be an easier paper, but still there were so many questions and so many lengthy, understanding based questions. So the paper's difficulty level is increasing. If we talk about PPB specifically, paper have been increasingly difficult. It is not easy. Not only the level of questions, but the scope of the syllabus that has happened in PPB is massive. PPB earlier, about a couple of years back, was about 450 pages, 400 pages book, and had 4 modules. Now PPB is about 850 pages book that the Macmillan book, the IIBF gives you, and there is another module on ethics that is added. So papers are increasingly becoming difficult, and obviously that's reflected in that pass percentage that I just showed you. Then what is the problem for this issue? The problem for this issue is that one needs to have complete coverage of the syllabus. So we cannot expect to leave any topic or any module thinking that this is probably not that important and let me leave it. You cannot be selective in your preparation. So it is very important. Maybe you can be selective when you are revising, but at least once while you are preparing, you must have gone through the entire syllabus. Do not skip topics. Do not choose. So the papers will not appear difficult so much. Second, questions were lengthy. Now, questions are lengthy. Why? Because there's a lot of stories. So all those case study based questions, there are 2 marks questions that come in the exams nowadays. And these questions are case study based questions where there is roughly about, 100, 150 words written and maybe more than that at times. And then you have a couple of questions following that paragraph, that case level. Now, these questions are indeed lengthy. What you need to focus is how to skim through these questions for the relevant information. Do you actually need to read word to word all the paragraphs? How do you increase your reading speed so that you are able to understand what it is saying? How do you improve that? That you improve only by getting enough practice on such type of questions. So I would suggest everybody to, once you get your complete coverage of your syllabus, do practice questions, do practice topic-wise questions, do practice case study-based questions. That will help you increase your reading speed, your ability to skim through for the right information when you are reading the question, and you will be able to manage your time. Third, options were tricky. And this is indeed a very big challenge when you are preparing for your JAIIB exam. The pressure that the paper needs to be completed on time. At times, there's a very slight difference between the options and you tend to mark the wrong one. And then there is nothing but regret. So options are tricky, but only if we are conceptually very clear, if we understand, if we do not do rote learning, right? So you do not have to do anything that, just by rote learning. You cannot prepare just by, let me do these 500 questions and I'm done. In that case, you will definitely find options tricky. But if we have a thorough understanding of the subject, you will not be tricked by the options. You will be able to explain, justify in your own mind, and that also quickly when you are doing your answers. So the options are tricky only if we lack conceptual clarity. Then the next point that I have is numerical questions took more time than expected. Now, specifically, again, in the paper of Principles and Practices of Banking, candidates often forget that we can carry a calculator. Carrying a calculator is allowed and is always advisable. Specifically, even in paper like Principles and Practices of Banking, we have seen that there are numerical questions in the case study based and in topics like, non-performing assets, the provision based questions, the lending based questions where you have to calculate working capital limits, letter of credits. So in these questions, if you have a calculator, you will not waste your time doing mere calculations. So time is extremely important. Carry a calculator so that your numericals are fast. Not only this, it is important that you know the formulas, you understand them, right? So numericals then will not be problems, but the opportunities to score full marks normally. So it is very, very important to understand. Then inadequate revision. Now, inadequate revision is one of the major problems that people face. We often complain that the syllabus is so huge and we have not been able to cover the entire syllabus, so we do not have any time to revise. Now, if we are facing such sort of problems, then we clearly have an issue in managing our time, not just during the exam, but also while preparing for it. So let me help you in this session to kind of, make a very practical based study plan, a very practical solution to the time management issue that you all face. Obviously, understandably, you are all busy working and it definitely needs a greater amount of motivation, to get up early in the morning or to study even after you are tired after a day's work. But it is worth it, right? You all want to clear your JAIIB exam, so it is definitely worth it. The monetary increment is worth it. The qualifying exams, happiness is worth it. Everything. And definitely the knowledge that you get, right? So time management is something that we need to figure out during the exam and even while preparing for the exam, the last 2 points. So let's see what can be done about it. Now, what can be done? So the strategy that I have for all of you here, right, is this, that you need to start preparing today. Like I mentioned earlier, don't wait for your registration to happen. There is hardly any time. Focus and study every day. Do not take a break day, right? So when it is important, why? Because we are left with a very limited number of days. So time is of essence. Even if you leave one day, that might cost you your entire JAIIB exam preparation. And you will have to repeat that exam preparation again. And let me know, my dear friends, that JAIIB 2022 is a golden opportunity for everybody. Why? Because in 2023, IIBF has already announced that they will change the format. They will change the syllabus. The number of papers would increase from 3 to 4. The course content would change. And to chart into an uncharted territory will be more challenging than to make sure that you study every day on an average 4 to 5 hours, right? So this is extremely important. Remind yourself every day. Get your calendar, strike each day. Note down what have you achieved in this day. And when I say on an average 4 to 5 hours, I do understand that you cannot do it probably on a working day, but then you have your holidays in place. Sundays is definitely an off day. There is also Saturdays at times, which is an off day. Make full utilization of that. So if you are studying maybe 1 hour, 1.5 hour, or even half an hour on a weekday, compensate that on a weekend, right? And trust me, this will give you more satisfaction. You will be more confident after your preparation. So the key here to prepare for managing your time is to start preparing now. And when I say start preparing now, what is the first step here? So the first step is going to be go on IIBF's website, check their syllabus, at least have once the look of the syllabus on the IIBF website. It's important, though you might get it everywhere. We also give you the syllabus copy. But have a look yourself, be confident about it, right? Then when you are preparing for this, what else you need to do? You need to have a reliable source of your study material. What do we mean by reliable source? Something which is, you know, you are fully confident that there will be no outdated information, that there will be updated course, updated syllabus, and you have complete understanding. It's easy to understand. So for instance, like in this batch that we have at Adda 24/7, we not only give you the video lectures where we get you complete conceptual clarity, where there is ample detailed discussion, but there are also ebooks. These ebooks are like those short notes, the revision notes that can help you understand, right? So having a friend, having a reliable study material is going to be the best thing that you do while you're preparing. Have a study material which is easily accessible from at any point in time. So an app in the phone where you can just record, download, and have an access to all the study material is going to be the best thing that you do. And why is that? Because you will find free time, maybe while traveling, commuting, or maybe in the lunchtime. You will have to snatch these small time bits, maybe 15 minutes here, half an hour there. That is what is going to make a difference, right? And when you do your full studying, right, major core study, do that during your high concentration hours. So now some are morning persons where the concentration is highest in the morning. Some prefer to do the study at night. Whatever it is in your case, identify that. I'm sure everybody knows about it. So when the concentration is best, study during that time. You will retain more. You will understand more. The efficiency, the amount of time that you will take to understand things will be very, very less. So the efficiency will be high. And this I have already mentioned, that you do not leave any topic or any module. You will be risking yourself. And then if you are stuck with, between 40 to 45, you will really regret it. So don't give yourself a chance to regret, right? 100% conceptual clarity and 100% mock tests preparation is extremely, extremely essential. Why and what it helps? So it is important. Why? Because once you have your conceptual clarity, you need to make sure that you are able to manage time during the exam. During the exam, you are able to attempt all the questions, go through each and every question, read the question. That will only happen if you appear for these mock tests. Obviously, so you cover some ground in the syllabus. Only towards the end of the syllabus, you start appearing for your mock tests. One, it will give you a good revision. Second, it will tell you where is your weakness that you need to work on. Right? The second last point on this that I have is everybody should know that the cutoff date is December 2021 for your June 2022 exam. That is going to happen, right? So that means you have to go to IIBF's website, check on the updates. We do that for you. We include all those updates in our classes, in our study material, in our questions. But if you're studying on your own, don't forget to check the IIBF's website updates. There has been an increased focus on these updates, and typically the Macmillan books, if you restrict yourself, you will miss out on these updates, right? So the book will be one part, and the updates will be over and above that. So make sure that you are able to go through these updates and understand all of them, right? Now, what is the game changer here, right? The game changer that you have here is that you need to prepare handwritten notes. So like our video lecture starts from tomorrow morning, I will be taking a session at 9 p.m. in the night. When you are listening to those sessions, try and make those notes, right? These handwritten notes will be very useful when you are doing your revision. And one understands much more than what you've written yourself than from anything else, right? Practice as many questions as possible, only after you've covered your entire syllabus. And one last bit, which some might feel that this is not possible given the paucity of time, but focus on 1 or 2 papers at a time. Don't start on this bandwagon of preparing 3 papers simultaneously. Otherwise, you will lack preparation and in-depth understanding of all the papers, right? So avoid simultaneous preparation. Maybe take 1 paper or 2 papers. One can be done in the morning, the other can be done in the evening. Don't stretch yourself too much. Be thorough with the preparation. After you've done 80 to 90% of this preparation, then add the third paper, right? So don't do the simultaneous preparation. And once again, when I tell you that we are here, so go to Adda 24/7 website and log in to the app or the website, buy the pack that we have for you. So this is the details. So English medium, JAIIB 2022 batch. Focus on the English medium, the others are bilingual batches. It starts March 7th. Do not miss the opportunity. Use code Y421 and avail 81% discount, right? I hope to see all of you tomorrow in my class. Have a very, very good evening, and thank you so much. I would like to receive your comments and see how can we improve and how can we help you further. Thank you so much.